Hi, my name is Sierra Smith, and I will be guiding you through this presentation, a task analysis, how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. A good place to start is by understanding what a task analysis is. It is the process of learning about people by watching them in action to understand how they go about doing their tasks and achieving their desired goals. While the definition is useful to know, I find it easier to understand the application by using an example. Throughout this presentation, we will be using a very familiar process, making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Why do we use a task analysis? A task analysis allows us to define the content of the instruction. This will help instructors be able to pinpoint exactly where a learner is having troubles and better be able to address the performance problems. A task analysis allows us to work through each individual step to recognize sub-steps. By doing this, we gain a better understanding of the process as a whole, as well as the more subtle steps. A task analysis allows us to view the content from the learner's perspective. This gives instructors an understanding of how learners see the process and how we can adapt the instruction to the learner. There are three major steps of a task analysis: identifying your instructional goal, identifying the steps of the process, and identifying the content of each step. These steps provide a universal structure for a task analysis. Identify your goal. Your goal statement should state the purpose of the instruction. It defines who the learners are, what they will do, and how they will be evaluated. Using our example of making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, a goal statement could sound something like, a hungry individual will be able to successfully make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Identify the steps. To best identify the steps the learner takes, you should ask yourself a couple of questions. First, what does the learner do? And second, what does the learner need to know to do this step? Continuing with the peanut butter and jelly sandwich, one of the things the learner has to do is spread the peanut butter onto a slice of bread. This would be one of the steps. What does the learner need to know to do this step? The learner needs to know how to use a knife to spread the peanut butter. This gets us thinking about the content of each step. Identify the content. The content of the steps describes the type of learning that will take place during the instruction. The content can be characterized into 6 different categories. Facts. This includes naming and recalling definitions. Concepts. Creating a mental category for objects or ideas. Principles and rules. This is making a connection between multiple concepts. Procedures is following an ordered sequence of steps. Interpersonal skills is the process of developing skills for interacting with other people. Attitudes are the way that our feelings affect our behavior. What type of content will be learned in our example? Procedural. There are step-by-step instructions for making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Bringing up the content allows us to be able to identify different types of cues that will be helpful to monitor the progress of instructions for both the instructor and the learner. There are 5 different types of cues, and they match up with our 5 senses. An aural cue is a sound cue. The learner knows that they have the jar of jelly open when they hear the pop of the lid coming off. A tactile cue is a cue from touch. The learner knows they are on the right track when they can feel the knife in their hand. A smell cue could be the smell of the peanut butter to let the learner know they have opened the jar of peanut butter. A visual cue could be the appearance of peanut butter on the bread. And a taste cue could be the confirmation that the peanut butter and jelly sandwich tastes like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Making a task analysis. How to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Let's try it. Identify our instructional goal. After someone has received our instruction, they should be able to successfully make a full peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Identify our steps. While it may seem like a simple task, for this process we are using 8 steps to make the peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Depending on the type of instruction, fewer or more steps may be required. There is no set number. Identify the content of our steps. Let's take a closer look at step 5. Within this step, the learner is required to do multiple things, so let's break it down. Each of these sub-steps will add up to the learner removing the lid from the peanut butter jar. and we have given the learner a smell cue to let them know when they have successfully completed this step and are ready to move on to the next one. When making a task analysis, you should do this for each individual step. We do not need to include a cue for each step, but it is often helpful to show progress. Putting it all together. This is a condensed version of what a task analysis might look like. Usually, each step would be expanded like we did with step 5, including substeps and different types of cues. Final thoughts. It may seem like we are overanalyzing the process of making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, but when we apply this to other types of instruction, we are able to find exactly where a learner is having problems. This allows us to address the issue and nip it in the bud. A task analysis is a tool we, as instructors, can use to make the learning experience a more enjoyable one. All of this material and more information can be found in the Designing Effective Instruction 6th edition by Gary Morrison, Stephen Ross, Howard Kallman, and Gerald Kemp.